YouTube. Welcome to day 21 of my birthday countdown vlog. 19 more days until I turn 40. So in 1991, not a lot of interesting things happened to me that year. One thing that happened in 91, in my third quarter of the year, at the time my university was on a quarter system and we actually switched the semesters the next year. But in that third quarter I had a biology class and I met a guy and we dated for a while. Which in and of itself is not that interesting, but what is interesting is how I ultimately broke up with him. This was only the second guy I ever dated, and after about, I think it was maybe a month or two that we were dating, I realized that this was not somebody I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, so I thought, well, I might as well stop wasting my time. And I wanted to break up with him, but at the same time I felt really bad because I thought maybe he liked me more than I liked him. I couldn't tell. He certainly never said I love you or anything like that, but I wasn't sure, so I felt bad about I didn't want to hurt his feelings. And so I concocted this really crazy idea to make it easier on him with the breakup by coming up with an idea of basically trying to convince him that I was stark raving insane, making it easier for him to accept me breaking up with him. And the way I did that was by telling him that come that summer, the mothership was going to come back to Earth and take me back home to my home planet. So I tried to convince him that I actually believed that I was an alien from another planet. Yeah, I don't know where I came up with that crazy thing. And who knows, maybe I really am insane. However, he got the point and he didn't seem too upset, so at the end of the day it was fine. But it was just like, I don't even know why I went there with that in my head. I just wanted to make it easier to break up and I was scared to death about it. And so my brain kind of went in that weird direction. Probably influenced a little bit too much by my love of sci-fi. Other thing that happened, I know I was in a biology class, and one of the things that we had to do was dissect a fetal pig. And I remember that the two gals that I was partnered up with in the biology lab that year absolutely refused to touch the pig. They were like, we don't care, we'll fail, we're not doing this. And I was not happy with the prospect of having to do this. I had a very squeamish stomach and things. But I said, you know what, screw you guys, I'm not failing this class. So I went ahead and did the dissection all by myself, and they just kind of observed rather aghastly from behind. And I finished the project and identified all the organs that we needed to and all that kind of stuff, and they just kind of basically copied off of me. So they got to coast through. I mean, neither one of them got better than a C in the class, one way or the other, anyway, because they refused to do other projects that weren't group projects. But I absolutely refused. In fact, in that particular case, whoever did not participate in that, or whichever team didn't participate in that, would fail the course entirely. It was a mandatory part of the class. And so I was like, no, I'm not failing. I was too scared of getting a failing grade to let that stop me. So I went ahead and did that, and I got an A and they got C's, and you know, it was all for the best. One interesting thing that happened while I was still dating that guy, he did take me to a Styx concert, and that was actually my first live rock concert that I ever went to. I wasn't like a big fan of Styx at the time, but I really enjoyed the concert, and to this day I still really enjoy their music. And as I recall, that particular concert, their drummer actually got married. I think it was their drummer got married on stage during the concert. So that was kind of cool. So that was fun. And then even after I broke up with my boyfriend at the time, that summer, one of the things I had promised him while we were dating was to help tutor him in German in the summer, because he was taking a German course and he needed some help. And as I said, I'm sort of a native speaker since I grew up. That was my first language growing up at home. Then, so I did that. I promised, and I fulfilled the promise, even though we had that weird breakup thing going on. So the rest of that summer, I did tutor him in German, and in repayment for my tutoring him, he drove my mom and I to a Peter, Paul, and Mary concert. It was the Peter, Paul, and Mary 25th anniversary, and they were playing in Chicago, and my mom was a big fan, and I enjoyed their music as well. And we got him a ticket, even though I knew he wasn't going to be a big fan of it, but since he was driving, what was he going to do, stay in the car the whole time? So I got 3 tickets, and took my mom and took him, and we had a good time. I do remember that I believe it was Peter. Peter was very picky about the audio quality, and this particular venue was sort of mostly outdoors with a big covering over the main seating, and it was not the best venue from an auditory standpoint for acoustic music, which is what they were playing. It was more designed for rock music, and he would stop in the middle of a song every now and again and have the audio engineers tweak this or tweak that because he wasn't happy with the audio, which was kind of an interesting thing. But overall, it was a really good concert. I've enjoyed Peter, Paul, and Mary's music since I was a child. My mom played it a lot along with the Beatles and other classic 60s and such groups. So anyway, like I said, not a heck of a lot of interesting things going on for me in '91 other than school and work again, and just what I just told you there. So anyway, until tomorrow, bye.